Hey there everybody, thanks for joining me for Gunstar Heroes. Going to be playing through the first two levels right now, and I love this game. Yeah, bouncing around with the little Sega logo and treasure. Seeing a treasure logo usually meant you were going to see something pretty good. I left a little bit of the intro in there. Those are going to be your two main characters on the bottom there. It's Gunstar Red and Gunstar Blue. That on the little flying thing is their brother, Gunstar Green. That's Colonel Red. Yeah, it's all a color theme here. I like that though. I like when there's a little theme to go with everything. So if I remember right, the story of this game is that Colonel Red believes that a creature called Golden Silver lives on the moon, or was banished to the moon, or is sealed in the moon, and that there are 4 gems that are needed to awaken him. So he's trying to do that because he thinks that it's God. And you guys are going to try and stop him. You get a choice between the two brothers, which is fixed shot and free shot. I'm going to go with free shot here. Free shot means you can run and shoot. Fixed shot means you stand and just shoot. Like whenever you shoot, your character stands still. Then you get to choose between one of the 4 guns. This game is a cool mechanic where... so much destruction already. This game is a cool mechanic where you pick up actually 2 different weapons, and then that, depending on which of the 2 weapons you have, will actually add different mechanics that will change the gun up. What you're seeing right now is I use the piercing blue laser and the green, which is the homing. That's a good combination because it basically, you just hold the button down and it flies across the screen and attacks everything that can home in on. This game had a lot of balances though. You see that pile of sandbags there. There's a few things in the game that will draw homing focus. So it'll lock onto that thing. So you can't just hold the button all the time. I didn't even talk about that thing because it was... You saw all of his attacks, it was pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, if you see, I have to keep letting the button go because it'll lock onto the sandbags. So I can't just run and gun the whole time. I think that's one of the things that made this game challenging, was that there wasn't, you could know what the attacks were that were coming, but most of the time they were randomized. So there wasn't a whole lot of pattern recognition so much as be ready for what comes. You could fight those guys off, but it's just easier to jump past, especially if you don't need any of the health or weapons. A little bit of a mini boss here. I slow down the fight just so we can show off some of his attacks, because he's pretty easy to kill on normal mode anyway. Yeah, if you get in close to him, he does a bunch of Street Fighter moves. He's pretty cool. If you watch my Contra video, you know that I love segmented bosses. We'll let some of those guys fall down just so you can see what happens. They're just going to keep coming down. And this guy's going to slide around every once in a while. It takes a little bit to kill. You usually get about 2 of those before you get to the bottom, and then they stop. So I'll slide up here. I like to make the nice jump. Slide over to the end. Yeah, whenever you kick those things, you get more stuff. For weapons, you'll get a few randomized weapons. If it's one that drops health, it'll drop more health, which is very useful to know. I mean, that means you can get about 60 health out of one. That claw knocked down the item bird. I'll just call it an item bird. This is our first stage boss here. This is Pinky Rotor. This boss can be kind of annoying. The 2 legs will draw homing focus, So the weapon that I'm using is not the most optimal weapon, but I love having this weapon for the next level, so I always pick it. I should probably do the stages. You can pick the order of stages that you want to do them in between the first 4 stages. And then what happens is for whatever stage you do second, you normally start with 100 health. The second stage you'll start with 120. So you want to do the easiest stages first so that you have more health for the harder stages. You'll see here I have to keep letting go of the button and re-triggering it. Because every time you get hit, it changes your focus. That was just me getting annoyed. But that boss is... You make quick work of it. So we retrieved one of the gems, blew the guys away like Team Rocket. Now we're going to pick the next stage, which is one of my favorite stages of all time for running gun games. Which is funny because you're in a minecart and you're not actually running. This gun dominates this level though. This is why I like this combo. You don't have to move around too much and the homing laser will just get everything. There are a few enemies that are a little stronger, so they'll draw the focus and you may get hit by some of the weaker guys, but again, let go of the button and trigger it and hit it again and it'll go after the weaker guys. So a slide on a minecart there. It's tricky getting power-ups in this level, so be careful. You know, they drop on the ground and then you've got a short amount of time before they just vanish off the screen. What a cool level. Cool level, cool music, great music. Be careful with those things actually, they do a little bit of damage. I mean, you know, it's not like half your health or anything, but it's notable. This game is definitely one of my favorites. That's something that you're going to notice a lot with this channel, especially now. I'm going to do a lot of games that will I just love them. I just used to play all the time, and they were fun to play, fun to pick up, and just, you know, I love RPGs, but sometimes you just want to pick something up, blow something up, run through some levels, shoot some bad guys. These are the kind of games you want to do that way. You know, you want a little bit of a challenge, but in the end, you just want to have a good time. Games like this are always a good time for me. It's fun to get 2 players in on them, especially this game. This game actually was a great 2-player game. Hopefully at some point I was going to play hard mode, and I decided just to go with the normal mode. Maybe at some point I'll get a second player and we'll go through hard mode to show you guys what some of these bosses can really do. A little bit of a problem there. That's when you ditch the rest of the train and you just start chucking bad guys at me. I'm gonna let him throw a couple so you see that. Oh, and I love being over here. Give me kisses. A little bit of health. Great boss here. Great boss. 7 force. This is actually Gunstar Green. It turns out that he is being mind controlled, I believe it is, and so he's got amnesia or something like that, and they're being controlled. So he's fighting his brothers. Such a cool boss. This boss is just so imaginative, so fun, so creative. He's got 7 forms. In normal mode, you're only going to see 5 of them. In hard mode and expert mode, you're going to see all 7 in the same fight. We got this version here. If you're on the ground, he's going to throw something at you that falls down. If you're on top, he's going to throw it looks like a boomerang. Then you got this guy here. He's going to move around the room. He's got two sets of attacks other than moving around the room. He may move towards you and start swinging his tail, thusly. I hold up for a minute here. I want to give you a chance to see. I want to see if he does his other attack, which I believe he does. There we go. And if you notice, I got hit with the tail there. That always, somehow I always get tagged with that. The tiger, another cool form. An easy form to fight though. The attacks, if you just stay mobile, you know, the attacks are pretty, you know, obviously with the big target there to telegraph where it's going to go. You don't have to worry too much about it. Thunder resist attack. Your standard bouncing laser. Nothing really serious. The eagle. I like this one. One of my favorites. You gotta be wary of his arms, and you gotta be wary of his tail. It hurts a little if you run into it. It hurts a lot if you're under it and sort of lands on you. That's actually gonna cause a good deal of damage. This game had collision detection. You didn't get a whole lot of invincibility frames, so you can get juggled into death really quick. This is the crab, I believe. This gets a little tricky because you gotta watch out for the attacks. The balls that come out like that, you gotta jump. These walls gotta come out and you have to be opposite the wall. But then the glowing orbs that come out, you have to be on the same side that they came out of. So it's a lot of back and forth. That's one of the reasons I love this weapon. Like I said, you didn't see two more forms. That is the urchin and the pistol. The pistol is probably my favorite, even though it was the sort of easiest to manage. But stick around because we got some bonus footage. I wanted you to see those other two fights, so I went back and made sure he did those too. This is the urchin. Just going to bounce around. On hard mode, it's a lot more difficult. It's a lot more relentless and quick. Now when his health gets to about 1500, he's going to change up his attacks. Again, everything seems kind of simple, but he can overwhelm you, especially on hard mode when he moves a lot faster, and he's shooting a lot more of those energy orbs. And this is the pistol. I think on this mode you can just jump them. I jump them right there. In hard mode, you have to go back and forth between the wall and the ceiling. They move way too fast. Give me a chance to change clips.